This is a New York Muscle Radio Network production.
Hey there guys, you're listening to the Bikini and Barbell Show, the #1 resource for bikini-ready fit chicks. What is up, beautiful ladies of the fitness world? Welcome to the Bikini and Barbell Show, episode number 10, brought to you by the New York Muscle Radio Network. On today's episode, we're going to prepare you for that spring break body that you've always wanted. You can use this advice to sculpt your body that is ready for whatever fun in the sun you have planned this spring break. I'm your host, Laura Bevilacqua, and with me today I have my big brother, Anthony Bevilacqua, and in spirit, Pete Kacharian. What's up, Ant?
Hey, what's up, Laura? What's going on? It's just me and you today, so it'll be a quiet podcast.
Yeah, I feel like we're on the phone.
I know. Now I can see your face, though.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's new in your world? What's new in the powerlifting woman world?
Nothing much, just busy with school, work, and trying to fit in my workouts as well. I was actually thinking about that today. I'm like, because today was a rest day, so it's actually cool how I could plan out my week and still get my training in on top of school and work.
Yeah, I think that's important. You have to learn how to do that, and that definitely comes with time. And obviously you want it, so that makes it a lot easier for you to fit it in. I mean, for me, I almost feel like my days, I like to work out in the morning and get it over with, because then I don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. When I have to work out at night or in the afternoon, I'm like, oh, okay, is it close to my work? Is it close to my work? It's always in my mind to get it done, because I'm so afraid something's going to come up. Now that I have the baby, sometimes one time she got sick at school and I was working out. I'm like, So just I don't want anything to get in my way. So I should probably start waking up early and going to work out. But that's just the thought of my alarm clock going off at 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm like, I go to bed late.
I don't know how people do that.
Yeah, I go to bed late. I'm definitely a night owl. I definitely gained some energy when it comes to the night. I get my second wind. Yeah,
it's actually funny when I go to work. I'm always like, oh, this day is dragging. I just want to get to the gym. That's my main goal, is to get to the gym. That's all I want throughout my day.
Yeah, that's what happens when you love what you do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I wanted to tell you. I figured it might as well was a perfect time to tell you. So this podcast is gonna drop next week. We're recording it on a Thursday night, so no one knows this yet. We're gonna launch it tomorrow on NewYorkMuscleRadio.com. But we got in our branched chain amino acid product. I got to give you a bottle to try.
Yeah.
So
did you try it?
Yeah, you clearly haven't been watching my snaps.
No,
my Instagram story. But yeah, so it's funny. I wanted to say I've been taking it to the dome, as they say. Just take the powder, put it in my mouth, and gargle a little water and swallow it. It's so much easier. I've never done powder like that before, and I was just doing it just to make a big thing for the BCAAs.
Yeah.
But I really like it, actually. It's so much easier just to put it in your mouth and swallow, and that's it.
Yeah, I do that with my pre-workout sometimes, but sometimes it's just it's too much, and then it's left over in your gums, and it tastes terrible. But how does
see? Because you know what it is? A lot of these products out there are fake. They all come back spiked. The products are spiked. They don't really contain what they contain. And we go through certificate of analysis. We make sure what's in our label claims are real. So our product, even the protein powder, is just all. It is what it is. Whatever the label says it is, it is. So there's not really much in there. So when I take it, it's so easy. Today I took 2 scoops on New York Muscle Radio's Instagram. You could watch that. So I took the first one, and then I went for the second one. I thought it was all out of the thing. So as I pulled the thing away, the scoop out of my mouth,
it fell out everywhere.
Yeah, not all over, but a cloud followed. But Pete was dying laughing. So if you guys head on over to New York Muscle Radio on Instagram, you can watch that. But yeah, I never did that before with supplements, but it was cool to actually do that. And we have the BCAAs in blue raspberry flavor. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what flavor. Is that the only flavor out so far?
Yeah, we only did one flavor. I feel like, watermelon is too played out. All these other flavors are too played out. Blue raspberry is just the best flavor ever. But I've been using it now that I have it. I've been using it because I was always leery of all the supplements out there because I heard some horror stories about another big brand that had branched chain amino acids, and really all it was just Crystal Light, flavored Crystal Light. And it kind of made sense because it tasted too good. And I'm not going to mention that company, but I was always weary of taking it. But now that I know it is what it is, I'm loving it because every scoop is 5 grams of protein. So if you have, throughout the day, 5 scoops, that's 25 grams of pure protein. And the cool thing about branched chain amino acids is they get into your system instantly. Branched chain amino acids are the building block to muscle. So when you take them, you instantly flood your bloodstream with the branched chains, which is what you need to grow. So I'm so excited because now I can actually use them how I want to use them. So I do them in the morning. I do 2 scoops in the morning. I do 1 before a workout. I do 2 after a workout, and then 1 before bed. And lately, like I said, I've been just taking it to the dome. So it literally takes a second. Whereas in the past, I would just put in a shaker bottle, shake it.
And just sip on it, yeah.
Yeah, but now just taking it to the dome makes it like really quick and easy. It must get into my system within minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, do you feel it hit your body right away? Because I do it, I do that with a pump, this pump powder that I have, and I feel it like instantly. Do you feel it instantly with that?
Well, it's BCAA, so it's not going to get really a pump type of a feeling. I mean, I want to say that I do feel it working instantly, but I don't know if that would be placebo, so I can't really say. But yeah, I could see like a pre-workout getting to you faster that way. But I can't believe how convenient it is. I'm like so mind blown because I never did that before. I'm so mind blown. I want to try that with caffeine.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Probably gross though because coffee is meant to be drinking.
Yeah, that's the perks of having your own products, right? You can have as much as you want.
Yeah, but I mean, I would normally. I mean, I used to take branched chain amino acids like that, but I was just like I said, I was just so weary of all of them that I haven't taken them anymore because I'm like, if this is not real, I'm not going to waste my money. I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know really what's inside of all these products out there.
It's scary. There's a lot of companies out there like Cellucor, Optimum Nutrition. All these companies are getting flagged for like spiking their protein. So basically what that means is they just fill up their protein with fillers. So the scoop will say it has 25 grams of protein, and really it'll only have like 15. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. And there was a huge difference because I've been private labeling my own protein for a while now. And it was a huge difference when I started doing that because I sell it out of my gym. So when I started doing that, I usually have like anywhere between 4 and 6 scoops of protein a day, give or take the day. And when I switched from a normal brand to my own brand, I saw a huge difference in my body. And it probably was because I was finally getting in the correct amount of protein.
Now, let me ask you this. You have your own protein, right?
Yeah. Sorry, my mic's screwed up here. Yeah.
Have you tried making that protein waffle yet?
No, I have made protein waffles before. I saw your video. Obviously, it's up on the YouTube channel. So if you guys head on over to newyorkmuscleradio.com/video. I've tried making waffles before, but you know what it is with me? I'm so like, it has to be quick and easy. I'm not.
Yeah, that's for a lot of people too. Like a lot of people don't want to take that time out to make it, but honestly, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but then you know what the problem is? The cleaning of the waffle iron.
Oh no, I just leave it for mommy to.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, well, that's the perks. I can't leave it for my wife, otherwise I get in trouble. You know my wife.
You'll get yelled at. Yeah.
So I can't leave it for my wife, and the baby's too little to clean right now. So when she gets older, I will leave it for Gabriella to clean up.
Yeah, you'll train her to do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. Yesterday I had her picking up stuff off the floor. So I was like, Gabriella, pick that up for me. And she was going. I'm like, okay, good. I'm training her early.
Yeah. Well, she's already working out. She loves it.
Oh, my God. When she comes in the gym with me, she loves it. She picks up the weights. I have micro plates. So they're basically half-pound weights. So I give them to her, and she copies whatever I do. So one day I was in the gym curling. I was doing curls. I was doing the New York Muscle Radio arm program. And she was behind me curling the little half-pound weights. It was so cute. I'm glad she likes it. It's so funny, having a girl, and this is fitting for the Bikini and Barbell show, but having a girl, I grew up with 2 sisters, obviously. You're one of them, clearly. But, you guys did dance, and I was always like, especially when it came to the baby. Yeah, I didn't feel like there was any benefit to doing dance. And my wife insisted on putting Gabriella to dance. And I told them, like, Jen, you don't get anything out of dance. I watched my 2 sisters go through it. And for anyone who's a dancer out there, I'm not, like, shitting on you or anything. I'm just stating my opinion. Like, I don't think, unless you have a passion for dance, that's different. But if you're just putting your kid into it just to put your kid into it, I wouldn't recommend doing dance. Something like gymnastics is good. So I was insisting on putting the baby in swimming. So my wife finally listened to me. We put her in swimming. She loves it. And I feel like she's getting so much more out of swimming than she is dance.
Yeah, 100%. One day we'll get her on the Bikini and Barbell show.
She was already on New York Muscle Radio.
Yeah.
I got to get her on this.
So, ladies, if you want to take yourself to the next level with our online coaching program, you can visit us at newyorkmuscleradio.com, just to put that out there. Moving on to the Bikini and Barbell's quote of the day. So today's quote says, "The only limits you have are the limits you believe." And this is by Wayne Dyer. I don't know who that is.
I was just going to say, do you even know who that is?
No idea. But I just saw the quote and I had to put somebody's name after it. But yeah, so the only limits you have are the limits you believe.
That's a great quote. I really like that quote, and it's so true because, I heard an expression lately, and I could repeat it now, that trying is lying. Now, how many people, I'm a personal trainer, so how many people tell me all the time, oh, I'm trying. Trying is lying. It's either you're doing it or you're not. So
Yeah.
I'm going to look up who Wayne Dyer is because I'm just curious. He was
But
an American philosopher, self-help author. Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Wikipedia. American philosopher, self-help author, and motivational speaker. And he wrote some crazy books. But
Makes sense. Motivational speaker.
yeah, sometimes I like those guys, but like my co-host Big Pete always says, a lot of that stuff. See, like he's a real piece of work, that guy, man, because he'll never speak real on the podcast. Like he'll never be himself. So when he talks to me, it's different from when he talks on the podcast. He might have actually said this on New York Muscle Radio. I'm not sure, but what he always says about motivational speakers is it's fine and dandy, but it's all mental masturbation. Which basically means that it's just like, you hear it and you get a little excited, but nothing ever happens. You have to take action to these things. But I agree. The only limits you have are the limits that you believe. And if you believe that you can't get past a certain point, you're not going to get past that point until you rechange your thinking. And it's so true. I mean, think about it with powerlifting. I don't know if maybe you want to list this for you, but is a 200-pound squat, does that seem doable? I know. Yes. 200, 300. Sorry.
300 for me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how long, I don't know when, but it's absolutely doable.
What about a 400-pound squat? See? So that's your limit right there. We just figured out your limit. You know what I mean? You can't, the world record was just broken in squats. The guy did 1,053 pounds, Ray Williams. We had him on New York Muscle Radio before. But
was that at the Arnold?
Yeah.
I think I saw that video, actually, and I was like, wow,
he's a monster. He's just a monster, and he's just a genetic freak, and he works so hard. But neither here nor there. He's setting his own limits because when we had him on the podcast, he told us on the podcast, he goes, I'm going to go for more. I know I have more in me, and that was nothing. And it really was. He broke, the last time it was 11:20 or 10:20, whatever it was, and it was easy for him. Now he did 10:53 or whatever it was. So you have to really set those limits in your mind, and you got to think sky's the limit. And the funny thing is, it's so hard because my brain thinks so rational. Like for me, like to think that one day I'll have a 700-pound squat is like, what?
Yeah, right? Even thought of me first powerlifting. I was like, Anthony, you sure I could do this? Like, you sure I can be in a meet and compete? And you were like, yeah, you could do whatever you put your mind to. And it's so true because I went out of the meet, getting second place and hitting what I wanted to hit. Did I want to hit more? Did I know I could have hit more? Absolutely. But that's what training is all about.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just can't listen to yourself because you're always going to have self-doubts with anything in life. There's all the time, like we come out with all the supplements now and some of the products, and every time we come out with a product, there's always that doubt, like, I don't know if this is going to do good, or I don't know if it's not. And then it's not until you get like the reassurance from someone, someone that follows we had a woman actually follow the ARM program because she wanted better arms, and she took a picture and she goes, I can't believe how my arms look. She gained half an inch on her arms, and her arms looked great. They didn't look like, mine or Big Pete's, but they looked great, and for a woman, you don't want to look like a guy anyways. Her arms looked lean and toned. It was unbelievable. So it's like when you get those types of stories and you're like, all right, this is why I'm doing this. This is why it works. So you can't, like, everybody has self-doubt. Everybody has that little, chip on the shoulder that says, don't do that, don't do that. But you can't listen to that guy. You have to just flick him off your shoulder and keep moving forward.
Exactly. Today's trending fitness topic is actually I put in as personal training profession has increased highly. I don't know if you would know any of this, but people looking for jobs in the gym and stuff has been harder because everybody is looking to be a personal trainer.
I mean, that's a good thing. This society, in today's modern world, obesity is an epidemic. There's a lot of problem with people gaining weight. And the main problem with people gaining weight is they don't know how to keep it off. That's the main thing. We don't have a problem in this country losing weight. We have a problem keeping the weight off. So I think having a lot more personal trainers out there, I think that there should be more of a license to be a personal trainer. I don't think it should be as easy as it is to become a personal trainer. But I do think that if the personal training industry is taken a little bit more seriously, you should let personal trainers collect insurance just like a doctor would, because I really do think that if people, and I know this, if people invest in themselves, so say you wanted to lose weight, you invest in yourself by getting a trainer, you're going to learn and cut down that learning curve and be able to learn forever. So this way, and I like tell all my clients this, my goal is for me not to be training you forever. I want to train you for a certain amount of time. I want you to be able to learn everything on your own, and then I want you to be able to do it on your own. You know, it's your choice if you want to stay or not, but that's the goal of every personal trainer. I've had clients come to me who became trainers after that. You know, online clients with New York Muscle Radio who've become trainers as well. One of our sponsored athletes, Chumley, he became an online coach after working with us. So it just goes to show you that, you know, there's a lot of good people in this industry, but you have to be able to, you know, take what you learn and learn. There's a lot. The problem with it is it's too easy. The entry of being a personal trainer is too easy.
That's what it is, because you know why? You can do it on your own time. So I know with the certification I had, it was on my own time. They gave you like a limit to like 2 to 3 months or something, but you can do it on your own time. So it depends on you on how fast you want to become a personal trainer. But like you said, it's also kind of an easy way out to get a job. But does that make you a good trainer or not?
Yeah, just because you have a certification doesn't mean you're a good trainer. You have to learn how to speak to people. You have to learn how, you know, because one person may learn visually, another person may learn, you know, by instruction. So you have to be able to teach people. It's not as easy as it sounds being a personal trainer. You know, you have to build relationships with people. If you're not a people person, being a personal trainer might not be for you. But I'm glad to see that the profession and the industry is growing. Like I said, I just wish they would regulate it a little bit more. And like I said, eventually let insurance companies have trainers be able to charge insurance, because I think for insurance companies, it would be something that would be really good. Because obviously, you know, all these diseases out there, diabetes, you know, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all this stuff is treatable by diet and exercise. But you just have to have proper guidance in order to explain to someone how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to eat right, how to exercise. You know, they think if they just go to the gym and walk on the treadmill a little bit, they're doing exercise. I mean, yeah, that's great. That's better than walk around the block. But if you really want to get healthy, you have to do way more than that. So I think that if insurance companies invested in personal trainers, it would cut down their expenses for other medical costs. You know, and I think we would have an overall, you know, leaner country. That's just my opinion, but I really do think that it's true.
Yeah, that is true, actually. I also think it's great how women want to be personal trainers, because I think that's, and even them having male clients, I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually awesome. You've seen that before? Obviously.
Yeah, I used to run the gym, as everyone knows in this. So I used to have all different types of trainers. And yeah, it's nice to see that the women are actually leaning more toward being personal trainers now, as opposed to just being aerobics instructors and cycling instructors and aerobic class, you know, Zumba teachers. So it's better to see them as personal trainers. And I always used to try to, you know, we had always good aerobics instructors. I always used to try to switch them over to personal training, because if you could handle an aerobics class full of all those women, imagine what you could do with one person, you know, and you obviously teaching the aerobics instructor the proper way to do things. You know, a lot of aerobics instructors have no idea. I've seen other trainers, you know, literally have the magazine out in front of them and have their client copy what they should be doing from the magazine. I mean, that's just,
wow.
You know, there's always going to be a good trainer, a bad trainer versus, you know, a good doctor and a bad doctor. There's always going to be one and the other. But like I said, I think if they made the industry a little bit harder to get into, it would make things really different. It would level the playing field a little bit. But then again, at the same time, there's bad doctors too, and doctors have to go through a lot. So
yeah, that is definitely true. So I just thought that was an interesting trending fitness topic, because personal training is, and especially the fitness world, is crazy nowadays. It's all over social media. Everybody's doing it. So it's just as a matter of like you taking it in as your own person and how you want to treat it.
Yeah, you liked being a trainer when you were.
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed helping others, and the text message I would get or the calls I would get saying how excited they were that they lost a couple pounds, and, you know, just motivation that kept them going. You know, I liked that.
It's a shame your school schedule got in the way and you couldn't continue.
Yeah, unfortunately. But at least I know I always can have that, and I can always make my own schedule around that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of people think just because someone's a personal trainer, they know everything in fitness. And I didn't learn anything from my personal training certification. I learned it from in the trenches, you know, and going through and trying everything.
And just experience.
Yeah, I always tell everybody, you know, don't be afraid to try something new, because you never know when you're going to stumble upon gold. So I've literally done every routine, every diet. You know, I'm always experimenting with something, even to this day. I mean, I recently just debunked a myth in fitness, whereas, you know, the myth was if you consume over 100 grams of fat a day for a man, all from avocados and all things that are supposed to raise your testosterone, that you're going to actually do that by doing that with your diet. I got my blood work done before and after, and I debunked that myth totally. So, there's a lot of, you have to be able to try things, and you have to be able to experiment, because you never know what works for you may not work for someone else. So you have to be able to try all these different things. And I kind of always feel like I've been looking for that.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I remember the first day I was training, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Should I write like the workouts down and just keep using this as a guide?
For
Like,
powerlifting?
no, for training
general?
just in general.
Oh,
I'm
for
like,
personal training, you mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was so nervous that first day. I'm like, should I do this with them? Should I do this? Oh, wait, this is a guy. This is an older man. He has back issues. What am I going to do? Just like so nervous. But until you get the hang of it, and I always had you to like help me with it, so it was kind of easier in that sense.
Yeah.
But
It's all right. Personal training. It's a good industry. It's definitely a good industry, but there's a lot of, like I said, it's just everything with fitness. It annoys me so much, and I just ignore it now. It doesn't really bother me anymore, but it's so annoying when I go through and I scroll and I see like, people jumping rope and just like nonsense stuff and like the glute kickback things, and it's like,
I was actually thinking about on episode 9 how you asked me what was so special about Amanda Bucci today. Actually, I'm like, why did he say that to me? I was like, because I look up to her. Like, what doesn't he see that I see in her? But I guess it's just the view of a man and a female kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't get it. Like, I just don't see any quality. Nothing against her. I don't know her from a hole in the wall. I don't follow her stuff. And I feel like I'm talking shit about the girl, but I really don't know anything about her. I don't watch her videos. I don't do anything. But like, I can't see why you would follow. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, going on the opposite end, someone else who's a YouTube person is like Matt Ogus. You know who Matt Ogus is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he looks insane. So like, that's like, all right, this guy's ripped. This guy's big. That.
Oh yeah, like I was.
That's easy.
That's what I was saying. I was like, is he basing it on how she looks? Because that's not what I'm basing it as on.
So what are you basing it
that's your male point of view, I guess. I don't know. I'm not.
So what does a woman then look for?
The inspiration that she gives to her audience, I guess, and how.
What does she do? I mean, she has, I think, like 350,000 followers. So what? I think
400. She actually just hit 400, I think.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway, but what does she do to get all those? Not to get all those followers, but what does she do to inspire all those people? Like, what do you get inspiration from that she does? Like, I'm just curious.
Well, I said this before because her journey throughout the powerlifting was the same as mine, so we did that together. But I guess her just motivation and knowing that sky's the limit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but today's March 9th, actually, and that was the day that Biggie died. I think it was 20-some years ago? Something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Biggie always said sky's the limit. So how come Biggie's not your role model? Why is it her that she says sky's the limit?
He could be, too.
So many people said this. Like, you know what it is? With this industry, so many people say the same thing over and over and over.
It's so true.
It's like, how do you distinguish what makes her different from someone else? I mean, clearly she's different because she has so many people who follow her, but neither here nor there, what makes her different?
Exactly. But like you said, they all say the same exact thing. She's the one who just stands out to me out of all of them.
All right. Well, next year at the Arnold, you meet her. I mean, I passed by her on the Arnold, and I'm like, oh, I think that's that girl.
Yeah.
And I kept walking.
So today we have the listener question of the day, and if you ladies have a question that you like us to answer for you, you can submit it on our website at www.newyorkmuscleradio.com/listener question, or you can call it in at 508-687-2534. And before I ask the question, we're doing live calls now.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to jump the line, because I have a whole list of listener questions. If you want to jump the line, just call in 508-687-2534. Leave us a voicemail, and we will answer your question. You'll jump the list, because I love those live call-ins. I love hearing other people's voices. And it's always funny.
I was just going to ask you, can we have the question live with us when we record?
Yeah, I play it back. You don't listen to New York Muscle Radio, clearly.
No, I'm saying while we're doing this right now.
I would play it.
Oh, all right.
It doesn't get edited in. Pete's not that good.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's always funny whenever we get someone with a different accent than us.
Yeah, because everybody says we have like the New York accent.
Yeah.
So the question is from Stephanie. I'm not sure how to say the last name. Do you?
I don't have it in front of me. Go. It's okay. Stephanie C.
Okay. So I've been working out for a long time. For the past year, I
totally skipped the whole beginning.
Oh, I didn't put that in my notes.
I read the beginning.
All right, you read the beginning. Go.
Hi, Anthony, Pete, and Laura. Love the content you guys are putting out. I've learned a lot listening to your podcast. You guys keep it real, and I look forward to getting the notification on my phone that there's a new podcast from you.
All
You
right.
go ahead and read the question.
I've been working out for a long time. For the past year, I contemplated doing a bikini competition. I finally signed up for one and hired a coach local to me where I can see them in person every once in a while. My leg routine is a combination of heavy lifts, deadlifts, squats, etc., but I also add in some of the glute kickbacks that you mentioned in the last podcast of the 7 mistakes women make in the gym. The glute kickbacks I do are on the cable machine with resistance from weights on the cable machine. I do the heavy stuff first for sure, and then do the glute kickbacks after the heavy weights. I feel my glutes working when I do them, so are the kickbacks still pointless?
That's a really good question. I like that question. Thank you, Stephanie, for bringing it in. Laura, what's your take? And then I'll answer it.
I actually laughed because it's funny because she goes the last podcast of the 7 mistakes women make in the gym, and we said that was one of the mistakes, but I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but I do think it's a waste of your time because you are putting in those heavy lifts first, and that's kind of all you need to work those glutes. The kickbacks are kind of just, I don't know, to me it would be like a rest or whatever for it, but I don't see a point in it.
Exactly. Like one of the ways, a good, it's always different when it comes to legs, and it always sounds different, but if I simplify this and I say, okay, this is biceps, right? So let's just replace the glutes with biceps. So if I'm doing heavy barbell curls and heavy dumbbell curls, if I did cable curls at the end, what's that going to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Because
Nothing.
I did the heavy stuff already. I did the majority of the work. The cable curls are just going to be, like you said, like active rest almost. Like just another way to just pump up the arms a little bit more.
Just
add
a
little
pump,
more blood
yeah.
to the area. But it's not going to be anything revolutionary. So we're not saying that it's completely pointless. We're saying that it's completely pointless if you do it first in the routine. But it's not completely pointless. It has its time and place, but I would definitely say not to waste precious energy on using that. If you're putting more focus on doing cable kickbacks, glute kickbacks, than you are your squats and your deadlifts, and you're missing the whole picture. Like I said, think of biceps. Heavy barbell curls and heavy dumbbell curls. What is the cable curl at the end going to do? Just add more blood to the area, which is fine. You'll get some benefit out of it, but like I said, it's almost like a waste of energy.
Yeah,
You'd be
she
better
said
off doing an extra set of squats and deadlifts than doing
Yeah.
that. And maybe, like you said, just adding it in, maybe doing like 1 or 2 sets max. I wouldn't go crazy. Sometimes these girls do so many sets of this.
Yeah, because she does say she does the heavy stuff first for sure. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I would keep the
She
glute
said
kickback.
she also, sorry to cut you off.
It's
quick,
okay.
but she said my leg routine is a combination of heavy lifts, deadlifts, and then squats. Hopefully she's doing the squats before the deadlifts.
Yeah, hopefully.
The reason why I say that is squats are a great warm up for deadlifts. It does warm up your whole body. And if you do deadlifts first, squats are gonna suffer. And since your legs and glutes are a priority, squats are really gonna hit that more. So always do your squats before deadlifts. Plus, if you ever decided to compete, switch from bikini to switch over to powerlifting, it goes in that order: squats, bench, dead.
Yeah. I would say to do the glute kickbacks maybe on a leg accessory day if your coach gives you that. Maybe just throw it in there and, like Anthony said, not to do as much of it. But so I guess they're not completely pointless.
Yeah, they'll get you 1,000 followers on Instagram right away as soon as you post.
Yeah,
one
that's
up.
for sure. Yeah. And then people start asking you where you buy the little straps. Trust me, I've been through all this. I bought the little strap that goes around your ankle and you tie it through the
my
cable.
God.
Yeah.
Wait, you
But
messaged someone and asked them where they bought the cable from?
no, she wrote it in her post.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah.
Because you don't understand why. Do you understand why now or no? Why she wrote it in the post?
Yeah, so everybody goes and buys it.
Yeah, do you know why?
No, why?
Because that's a paid post.
Oh, probably.
The company
Well,
paid her to put
They
that
just
in there,
got
so-
money off of me, too.
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
know where the straps are now? In the garbage. Not even use them anymore.
You said they're really Italian, the garbage.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. We're from New York. No one likes our accent anyway. You know, it's so funny. When we were in Ohio for the Arnold Classic, we were we're friendly. We talk to everybody. So we're talking to the waitresses, the waiters, people. And no one seemed to like us. It's like, it must be the New York thing. They must tell we're from New York right
Really?
away. And yeah, no one liked us.
You know why? They could tell that you're, like, snippy right away. They see, like, I guess they could just tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because Pete, like I said, I've said this so many times, Pete puts on an act to everybody. So they liked Pete, but he wasn't really acting. He wasn't really Pete. He puts on like the Pete that comes on the podcast.
A little fake Pete, yeah.
Yeah, the little fake Pete. Little faux Hulk fake Pete.
Well, we can't say he's fake on the podcast.
Nah, and I can't wait till he comes on. So if he was here right now, he'd be getting destroyed.
He does spit some knowledge, though, we have to say.
No, he's very knowledgeable. That's why he's lasted so long with me on the podcast.
Yeah.
He's gonna listen to this when he's editing this, and he's gonna just shake his head. Like I can see him right now as he's listening to this, just shaking his head, laughing.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my God! We were that commercial, the glute commercial,
I crack up.
Oh my God! When he says "what," I crack up hysterical every single time I hear it because that is how he says it. Like, so if his girlfriend did yell at him, he would say "what" like that. It makes me laugh every time.
All right, ladies, we're gonna take a quick beauty break and we'll be right back.
Looking to take your physique to the next level? Interested in working with the best coaches in the business? Hear what New York Muscle Radio clients are saying.
The best coaches I have ever had.
They coached me through a post-contest reverse diet and all the way through to an off-season strength program. Since working with them, I've added 55 pounds to my squat, 50 pounds to my deadlift, and 20 pounds to my bench press.
I have never had as amazing of glutes as I have training with them.
I know now that I don't have to suffer eating low carb or low calorie. I've gained so much strength and metabolism, all while staying relatively lean, thanks to them. I would recommend them to anyone.
So I can say, no matter what your goals are, you're guaranteed to be stronger, healthier, and let's face it, better looking.
Ready to join and take your physique to new levels? Visit NewYorkMuscleRadio.com now.
Damn.
Nice, Pete.
What?
I saw you checking out that girl's butt.
What? I was just checking out her yoga pants.
Pete.
I was thinking you'd look really good in yoga pants.
Uh-huh.
I was like trying to check out what brand it was. Like I was looking at her form on deadlifts. They were all messed up.
Do you think she has a nicer butt than me?
Well, it definitely doesn't look like a pancake.
Did you just call my butt a pancake?
Well, I mean,
What can I do?
you gotta try New York Muscle Radio's Glutylicious program.
Glutylicious.
Yeah, you'll finally get a celebrity booty, like all the other girls following the program.
Fine, I'll do it. But don't get jealous when other guys check out my glutylicious ass.
Glutylicious, your guide to getting a celebrity booty in 12 weeks. Now available exclusively at NewYorkMuscleRadio.com.
All right, ladies, we're back to the Bikini and Barbell Show, episode number 10. So today we're going to discuss how to get that spring break body that you've always wanted and try to get off that holiday fluff. So first, we're going to talk about what you should and shouldn't do, and we're going to first start off with strength training.
Yeah. It's so funny. I can't believe how fast spring is coming. I mean, we're here in New York. It's 60. It was 60-something degrees today, 65. And tomorrow's supposed to be snow, like blizzard. I think we're getting like 4 or 5 inches of snow.
I think we're supposed to get like a nor'easter next week, too. And the other day it was like 60 degrees. I'm like, what is going on here?
Makes no
crazy.
sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But anyway, regardless, a lot of people think that sometimes when it's coming time, summer's coming, I'm going on vacation, let me just work out for a couple weeks and get in shape. Well, the earlier you start, the better you're going to end up being. The problem with that is, there's a lot that goes into that. Obviously, it takes some time to diet down to get to where you want to go. But then, if you diet down to your leanest and then just start eating right away again, you're going to gain back all your weight. So if you started dieting now for summer, dieted down, and then slowly reversed into summer, you'd be in a good spot because then you'd be eating more calories into summer. You'd be still losing. And like I said, if you have to go to a barbecue and have a little bit more, it wouldn't hurt you as bad as if you were in the midst of dieting. So it's always good to start early. So that's why I like this spring body, knowledge we're going to spit here, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So when it comes to your programming, again, the programming is always the same. When you try to diet down, trying to gain muscle, it's always the same thing. Whatever builds muscle the best will maintain it the best when dieting. So strength training, something like the New York Strong program will work great because, again, you always have to focus on progressive overload, meaning you always got to add weight to the bar. So doing big, heavy compound movements and adding weight to the bar consistently over time. That's what's going to build muscle and maintain muscle the best. So, Laura, what shouldn't you do then?
For what you shouldn't do with strength training would be
buy glute bands from someone online.
Yeah. Besides that, I definitely would say not to do those heavy compound weights lifts every single day. I would kind of take strength training into, use your energy for those days that you're heavy lifting, and don't go too crazy with it, and always put in, before we get into all the other topics, but your cardio and your diet is a major part of it also. So I wouldn't do those, like you said, the glute kickbacks, all those waste of time training. I wouldn't even bother.
The other thing I wouldn't do too is a lot of people think, oh, I'm trying to get cuts, I'm going to do high rep. That's a big BS thing too. I wouldn't, like what I said, whatever builds muscle is going to maintain it the best when you're dieting. So if you're focusing on building strength in the off season or when you're not dieting, focusing on getting stronger and building a little bit of muscle, if you're doing lower reps and, like I said, gaining strength, if you just automatically, I want to get some cuts, I'm going to go from 15 to 25 reps, you're not going to get anything out of it. Your body has no reason to keep that muscle on your physique, so it's automatically going to get rid of a lot of muscle that way. So switching your routine like that, Arnold actually recommended that back in the day too. I don't recommend that. So that would be one thing I would say not to do. The other thing I would say is making sure that you're on a structured program. A lot of people just try to go wing the gym. I'm going to go work out today, and they have no idea what they're doing until they're doing it. I think that's a huge mistake. Planning out your training and taking your training seriously. Again, even if your goal is just to look better on the beach, you're going to look 3 times as better if you actually plan out your workouts. If you just go in and just randomly do things, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, and just know that by strength training, you're building that lean muscle and you're burning fat as well. So plan out your week the way, if you're busy with school work, just plan it out and make sure you get that strength training in.
Yeah, success is a planned event. Nothing's going to happen on accident. So you just got to make sure that you get it in. That's it. Very simple. Just make sure you
know
get
what
it
it
in.
is? A lot of people now get nervous because the weather's getting nicer, so they feel like they need a quick fix.
Oh, God. Yeah, we should probably put that on the list, too. Avoid quick fixes. Any type of detox. You've been through every quick fix, so we'll name...
Detox, definitely
don't
do that.
So right now, what we should do is name all the things that you've ever tried that don't work.
Oh, man. The 14-day cleanse. The 14-day cleanse. Do not do. There's also pills that are like 14-day colon cleanse. Don't do. What else? Fat burners, for a fat burner, yeah, right?
Fat burners actually have shown to lose body fat with them, but it's very insignificant. They did a study where they had all these people on fat burners, and one half was on fat burners, one half weren't, and they had them in a caloric surplus, meaning they weren't in a gaining phase, because that would be the ideal time to see if they would actually lose, because if they were in a deficit, they would have lost anyway. So they put them in a gaining phase, and the group that had the actual fat burner actually ended up losing a pound of fat. Over 6 weeks, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks. That's really not that much, but considering they were in a gaining phase and they still lost a pound, that's not bad. So they do work, but it's not magic. There's no such thing as magical pills. They maybe work 1 to 5%.
Yeah. Oh, and the biggest one is waist trainers. Don't think that just because you put a waist trainer on that you'll look good in a bikini.
Oh my God! You know what I found out today? So do you know who Sadiq is?
No.
He's the men's physique, Mr. Olympia. I don't know what they're called. I don't follow men's physique. But Sadiq actually competed with Big Pete, and they actually came up together, and Sadiq went one way and Pete went the other. But so I found out that he actually wears a squeam.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
A squeam? What's a squeam?
Same thing, waist trainer. That's like a squeam, waist trainer, whatever. A corset.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, a corset. But what I found that actually, to think about it, a good example of what that thing actually does. A lot of people think if they wear this thing that it's going to actually shrink their waist. So I've never broken a bone. Oh, I've broken my fingers actually, but I've never broken a bone. Like I never broke my arm, my leg, God forbid, knock wood. But you've never broken anything either. But if you were to, God forbid, break something and you had a cast on your arm, let's just say, After 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you took the cast off, your arm is going to be significantly shriveled and atrophied. All the muscles in your arm are atrophied. So when you wear one of those waist trainer things, the muscles of your abdominals are actually shrunk because they actually are atrophied. So it's the same idea there. So that's not doing anything then.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's definitely what you shouldn't do, and the things that you shouldn't be using.
Yeah, and
from experience.
I can see that being very dangerous. Someone putting that on, like if I put that on and try to squat 500 pounds, that probably wouldn't be good. I'd probably break ribs.
It would pop everywhere. The thing would pop. Yeah. Next, moving on would be cardio.
Wait, I thought there was more to your list.
I can't think of any. There's so many. Those are the main ones, I would say.
All right.
Moving on.
A lot of people think those things work.
I know, it's true, but I did too in the beginning. And as I was using it, I had to tell myself, yeah, this is working, when it really wasn't working.
But you also weren't dieting either. So if you were if you were really dieting like you are now, but if you were really dieting and took those, you think it would make a difference?
No. I think I'm better off doing what I'm doing now. I don't need anything extra.
You think? I know.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, we'll go ahead. You can move on now.
So now moving on to cardio. I know a lot of now, so many people in the gym. I've never seen so many people in the gym now on any cardio machines as I do now. It's crazy. Women and men.
Yeah, because everyone's trying to get in shape now. So what to do with cardio? Definitely keep cardio, I don't want to say at a minimum, but don't rely on the cardio to actually burn your fat. If you're looking to get into a deficit and looking to get good for get in good shape for spring break, focus on the diet and your strength training. Your cardio is going to be just a little crutch to push you over the edge there. So a lot of people, like you said, now you're seeing everyone on the treadmills and trying to burn fat. And that's good. You need cardio. But if you rely too much on cardio, your body's going to adapt to it. You're going to get used to doing all that cardio. And then you're just going to have to keep doing more and more. So, and actually, cardio has been shown to actually increase muscle loss, muscle wasting, and muscle loss. So if your goal is to look as good and as tight as possible, tone tight, you want to keep strength training in there and keep the cardio down. So I would say something you should do is keep your cardio down. If you're going to do cardio, I'd recommend doing high-intensity cardio. That's the best form of cardio. It's quick, easy, done. I like using the battle ropes. That's my preferred high-intensity training type form of cardio. I love that the best. 3 to 5 intervals of that for me goes a long way. Other people might need more, some may need less, some may need none. But doing that a couple times a week would be more than enough. So that's what I would say you should do. What you shouldn't do is hours and hours of endless cardio.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't just get on a bike or an arc trainer and just do it for an hour and then just get off with no sweat or nothing and just walk out of the gym.
Yeah, I mean, there's health benefits to doing just cardio, but
no, yeah.
Aside from that, and the other thing too that I would say what not to do is don't just do cardio haphazardly. Don't just go in and, like we said, just do that. I would say what you should do is keep track, and we recommend this for all of our online coaching clients, any of my in-person clients. I always have my clients keep track of how many calories they burn during a low-intensity cardio session, because that's going to give me a better marker as a coach to judge if they need more or if they need less. So if I just told you, okay, do a half hour 3 times a week, I don't really know what's happening there. You could burn 100 calories one day, you could burn 600 the next, and that range is going to be different every time. If I'm keeping track of the cardio calories burned, I know the machines are never 100% accurate, but if you use the same machine all the time, you get an average number. Whether it's right or wrong, doesn't matter. As long as it's consistent, you're going to get that consistent number, and I'll say, okay, I know, Laura's burning 1,000 calories a week, and I know that that's where her limit is. I don't care if she does that in 5 days or she does it in 1 day, but at least I know where she is. So if she ends up plateauing, I can always add it in. So don't do anything for no reason.
Yeah. And like you said, you would put in HIIT cardio versus hours and hours of cardio on the treadmill.
Yeah, HIIT cardio has been shown to increase fat burning after the fact. And it's just, for me, I hate cardio. So for me, quick and easy, I'd rather do that. And high-intensity cardio actually mimics weight training a little bit. So every time you do a high-intensity session, it's almost like your body almost thinks like you worked out.
Yeah, it's actually funny when I see some of the older women have the dumbbells in their hands while they walk the treadmill. I think it's cute.
God.
Yeah, it's cute though, but...
I always think of high-intensity cardio. I think of football players. Football players are probably the biggest and leanest athlete out of all the sports. And if you think about it, what are they doing? They start, they do a play lasts maybe 20 seconds max, and then the play's dead, and they regroup for about a minute, and then they go at it again. The whole thing is constant high-intensity cardio. That's what football is. The plays don't last hours. It's not like the plays going on for 2-3 minutes. It's, max 30 seconds to a minute, max. I'll play football. So every time I think of cardio, I think of a football player and a high intensity, and that's like kind of the look that I want. I don't want to look like a football player, but you get the idea. I want to be lean and I want to be big, and that's why I do that. For a woman, you want to be lean and you want to be toned. It's the same idea.
Yeah.
Like a basketball player is lanky and lean. That's because they do a lot of cardio. So you can look at it right there. There's a big difference between the two.
Yeah. So definitely, cardio would definitely be what you want to do for that type of body. So, and a big portion of that too is also your diet. Diet is definitely important. It should be important all year round, not just because the weather's getting nicer outside.
Yeah, 100%. Keeping track of your macros, I almost said, your macros, and following something like Cracking the Flexible Dieting Code, which is our signature ebook on New York Muscle Radio. But following something like that and learning how to do flexible dieting correctly and eating what you want will make you sustain dieting longer and making it a lifestyle year round. I count my macros. I think my MyFitnessPal, I'm pretty sure I almost have a record. Although it was one New York Muscle Radio listener who beat me. But I have 1,170 days on MyFitnessPal that I logged in. I don't even know how many years that is.
Actually, let me check.
But yeah, I know I have
1,100. Yeah, you're right.
170 days.
In a row.
Row. That means on vacations, on every day, always logging my food in and making sure that I'm hitting my goals. And, a lot of people would say, oh, you don't need that anymore. And I don't. I probably could wing it. But I like seeing it on paper. I'm very meticulous when it comes to certain things. I'm always trying new experiments. So, like I said, I recently got blood work done to debunk a myth about high fat intake and increasing testosterone. I could still go back to those days and tell you exactly what I ate that day because I like to keep track of things. I just think it's easy when I keep track of things too. Like I always say, your body's like your experiment. You have to be able to have as much data as you can to make a good conclusion. So I have all this data, and I'll never. And the same thing, I weigh myself every morning. I take my body fat every morning, and I write that down. I have that for like 4 years already too, on a piece of paper, on a note in my phone that I keep.
Wow, I really am like a mini-me version of you because I have a whole log from since I started dieting with my body fat and my weight every single morning. And even if
you're the smart one, the middle one we don't know about. The middle sister, we don't know what happened in that one.
It really does help, like tracking.
Danielle's gonna listen to this and be like, "Hey,"
she's gonna be so mad.
Hey,
she's like, "Why didn't you stick up for me?"
Oh, you're the one that gets in trouble, not me.
Yeah, I know. But I think it's so good to see that difference and that change and just tracking everything. I don't even feel like I'm on a diet anymore, right? Like you still feel like you're just living.
Especially when you're in a gaining phase and in flexible dieting, it's almost like, all right, I just need this much food, and you almost are trying to fill the gaps. When you diet down, like I finally started dieting after 2 years. I haven't dieted, so I'm dieting down a little bit, only because I just feel like I can't. How I know I'm at the end with gaining, I have no appetite anymore. I can't possibly eat anymore. I'm like, I just want to diet. A couple weeks dieting and I'm going to want to switch, but it's okay because I know it'll do me good in the long run. But, I just started dieting now, and it's like now I'm really starting to, not that I don't pay attention before, but it was like, all right, just plug this in, plug this in, plug this in. And now I'm dieting. I'm like, all right, what can I eat now? Like now I'm looking for it, But it makes it fun. It makes it easy. And it's almost like a budget. That's the way I look at it. If I made whatever, $100,000 this year, and I wanted to buy a car that was $50,000, that would take, in cash, let's just say I wanted to buy a car in $50,000, that would take up half my budget. Same thing with your food. So if I want a Pop-Tart, I have to substitute that in my day and realize that I'm going to have to have less. Like I have cookies in my cabinet that I wanted before, and I'm like, I don't want to waste the carbs.
Is it worth it? Yeah. I do that all the time. I talk to myself all the time. I'm like, is this really worth it? I'll have a rice cake instead with like peanut butter and jelly on top.
Yeah. So I think that guys should follow a flexible diet approach. It's definitely going to be better, and that's something that you should do. What you shouldn't do is just think, oh, I'm going to eat this salad and I'm going to get healthy. One of my clients today, he's on a flexible dieting program, and he's still learning, so he's new, so I can't fault him for this. But he texted me today. He's like, man, I just ate my lunch, and it was whatever, tuna on a wrap or something like that. And he's like, I just ate my lunch, and I'm still hungry. I'm at school. I'm going to get a salad. So I was like, okay, what's on the salad? He tells me it's walnuts, oil, eggs, and grilled chicken. I'm like, dude, you know that salad's probably like 800 calories, right? He goes, really? I'm like, yeah, man. Remember, don't get it confused into thinking that a salad is healthy. Sometimes if you guys go to any restaurant, look at the salads on the menu. They're probably the highest calorie thing on the menu. I know Cheesecake Factory, which is one of your favorite places to go, the salads are almost as much as the cheesecake.
Yeah, it's crazy and it's so sad because people who really think that they're going to be eating healthy going out eating and just get a salad, a Caesar salad or whatever it is, realize that the dressing is so, has so much fat, right?
Oh, my God. You know, I'm a sucker for blue cheese dressing. I love blue cheese dressing. It's like my favorite thing. Did you know that about me?
No, I didn't know that, actually.
I love blue cheese. Yeah, I love blue cheese dressing. I'm like the only one who gets it on anything. If I have wings, I have to have it with blue cheese. My wife hates blue cheese. She always gets ranch. If we ever get wings, she gets ranch. But I love blue cheese. So every time I go out and I get a salad, I always want blue cheese on it. But then I get it, and I'm like, I don't want to waste my fat on that.
Yeah, because you realize, you stop, and you're like, I don't want it anymore.
It always sounds like a good idea, and then when you get it, you're like, oh, man. But you know, the thing that kills with salads is all the toppings. You know, the cheese. Sometimes they put shredded cheese on it. The croutons. Well, the croutons really aren't that much, but still it adds up. The croutons. Then, sometimes they have nuts or raisins in it. Those things are so high calorie. If I'm trying to gain weight, I'm trying to get calories in, I have things like raisins and walnuts. If I'm trying to diet, I'm not trying to have that stuff because it won't take up a lot of space in my stomach. The only low-calorie part about the salad is the lettuce, and whatever spinach or whatever else is in it.
And if you put grilled chicken in it.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else is just like added topping, flavoring.
Yeah. Sometimes when people say that they're on a diet and I see them having a salad or I don't even know what else, a protein shake, I'm like, all right, you don't even know what's in that smoothie protein shake or whatever from a smoothie bar. Yeah.
Those places are the worst. Like what's the one that
I actually looked
Jamba
it up.
Juice.
Yeah.
I love Jamba Juice. I like the idea of juicing. And lately, you're supposed to get in, 6 to 9 servings of vegetables and fruit a day.
Yeah.
That thing changes every day, so it's probably more now. And it's so hard for me to do that, only because the vegetables and stuff go bad. So what I've been doing lately is I've just been throwing everything in the blender, adding water and blending it. Today I did strawberries, blueberries, spinach, kale, apple. So that's 5 already. And I threw in some clementines in there because I just had them. random mix. And I just blend it and I drink it.
Yeah, because I want to make a smoothie, but I want to make it macro friendly.
Yeah, so just fit in your fruit for the day. I don't have any bananas left, or I probably would have put a banana in there because I kind of needed to fill some carbs, and I needed to have that. So I was like, yeah, I'll put that in there. But yeah, so people will go to Jamba Juice thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get a healthy smoothie, like you said. Those, if you get a large, that thing's like 50 to 70 grams of carbs.
Yeah,
they use apple. A lot of these places use apple juice.
Yeah.
So they use apple juice as the base, which is insane. Some people think those things are healthy. I mean, listen, I like them, and if I had the opportunity to go to Jamba Juice right now, I would. I love Jamba Juice, but again, I wouldn't. I know what's in it. And this is the beauty of flexible dieting, because you're able to understand, like, okay, if I really want that, I could fit it in, but I'm not going to sacrifice that for something else. I'd rather eat. For me anyway. Exactly.
For example, the other day in school, there's a smoothie bar by the campus, and I was like, I was in the mood for a smoothie. So I looked it up on MyFitnessPal, and I figured it would be the same as Jamba Juice would be, and I saw it was 80 it was 80 carbs and 260 calories maybe. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. I'd rather save it on a solid food.
Yeah, 80 carbs for you is a lot.
Yeah, considering. So I'm like, you know what? I have to find out a macro-friendly way to make a smoothie. So I got to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just literally add water and add all the stuff in. Strawberries and blueberries are easy. You just mix them in there with a banana, and that's already 3 servings of fruit. If you add in spinach in there or kale, you don't taste it. Spinach is really cool. I've actually added spinach to my protein shakes before.
You don't taste it?
No, it just turns the shake green, but you don't taste it. The shake I made today looked like mud.
Probably did.
It did. It looks brown, but it actually doesn't taste bad at all. The apple gives a good consistency, a good taste, but it's an easy way for me to get in my fruits and vegetables, and it's been making my life easy because that's one thing that I kind of been slacking on that I want to improve, because I know I need to eat more fruits and vegetables. You can always eat more, so I was like, there's got to be a way I could do this. So even if I have the stuff frozen, I can literally just throw it in the blender and add water and be good. I could have
And
added
ice,
protein
right?
powder to it too, but it was just
Yeah.
I didn't want to shake. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I do. So, and the other thing that makes me laugh too is people who get those smoothies and it's like, oh, it's a protein smoothie and it has like 10 grams of protein.
Yeah. Somebody else was drinking it today. I'm like, you don't even know what you're putting in your body.
Yeah, it's like 10 grams of protein. It's a protein shake all of a sudden.
Yeah. Moving on to the next topic is flexibility and core and active rest. So throughout this, you want to take this first? What you should do?
Yeah, I want to add. Well, I guess flexibility. When you say flexibility and core, I would add mobility in there.
Yeah.
I would just say, it's important. Forget spring body for a second. Just in general, overall, you should be doing some type of mobility work, some type of flexibility, some type of core strengthening. Those movements are very, very important for overall health. Doing something like a side plank helps the obliques work, better, especially when you're squatting. And if you wear a belt when you squat, you should do those things. Regular body weight squats just to focus on your core. And you're not going to get a six-pack from doing these things, but they're going to strengthen up your abdominals so you're able to function in everyday life. I mean, it's one thing if you're working out, and yes, if you do squats and deadlifts, you are strengthening up your core. But by adding those things in there, it's just a little more insurance for a better core. And again, you want your core to last forever. One of my clients was telling me, this is a great story actually. His dad's like 85. He's an older gentleman. His dad's like 85, and his dad was in the military, whatnot, when he was younger. So every day, just from the military, he would do sit-ups. He does like 50 sit-ups every day, or 200. I forget the number, whatever it is. Let's just say 100, just for argument's sake. So there's 100 sit-ups every day. So there's 100 sit-ups to this day. So he's 85.
Wow.
He went for a test, and he had to lie down like he went for an MRI or whatever. After the MRI, the guy, like the nurse, assistant, whatever, walked in to help the guy up. And he just sprung up, and he goes, "Wow, I've never seen someone your age be able to get up that easy." And he said, "Yeah, it's from my sit-ups every day." And it just goes to show you that having a strong core will give you a lot of longevity over the long haul. And that's what it is. I want to be one of those guys. I want to be someone that's 85 like that has all my consciousness and is able to do things for themselves. I don't want to be a broken down 85-year-old. I want to be an active 85, 90, 100-year-old. I don't want to be that. So again, these are the things you have to worry about for the long haul. But you should be definitely incorporating that year round. Again, the same thing with mobility too. If you're squatting heavy, deadlifting heavy, benching heavy, and just doing heavy compound movements, you have to do mobility work. It's just so important. You have to fit that into your schedule somehow, some way. Even doing something like a yoga. You don't have to go crazy with that. You can find like a couple of yoga clips online and just watch them and just do 20 minutes, here and there. That would definitely make a big difference. But staying limber and loose is so important. Again, for me, that's one of the areas that, especially in mobility, that I should work on. Not mobility, I guess more flexibility that I should be working on more. But it's just so hard. It's not enough time in the day. If I'm working out for 2-3 hours a day, how am I going to do another half hour? I mean, I shouldn't say. If I really made it a priority, I would. But it's not a priority for me right now. It's bad.
Yeah.
But, it's something that I need to work on.
Moving back to core, how many times a week do you do your core work?
I do side planks. I do them. I don't do regular planks. I do side planks because when you squat with a belt on, you only really activate the front of your abdominals, which is your rectus femoris, only the front. You don't really activate the obliques on the side. When you squat beltless, you use your obliques a lot. So I had the issue of my obliques working too much, and then I had them not working at all. So I do them 3 times a week, and I just work my way up in time on each side. I just do sides. So I do it 3 times a week, really. And again, I just do one set. I do like a minute one side. I flip and do a minute on the other side. I'm always trying to add time to that. But again, it just gets my core, my obliques firing. And that's all I do. I don't do regular planks. I guess it's different for everybody. So I just need to focus on what I need to focus on. That's what I need to focus on.
Yeah, and like Anthony said, this topic should be all year round. It shouldn't just be because you want abs just for the summer and then you go back to not training your core at all once the summer is over. So also with flexibility, like you said, you have to put the time in for that because like to foam roll and to do yoga and to do all that, it's all based on you and how you want to incorporate that into your week. If you don't have the time, then you don't do it. But if you do have the time and you're just sitting on the couch, foam roll or stretch, because that is important too.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add to that.
Yeah. And then active rest.
It's
always important.
It's important to take deloads every once in a while. You can't train balls to the wall every day as much as I would like to. You can't do that. It's always important to take a little bit active time rest. It's good for your body to rest and recover, especially if you're dieting too. That may even include a diet break. If you've been dieting for 12 weeks, I would say it's good to take a couple of days, quote unquote, in a refeed period, refeed time, or eating a little more calories just to try to rebuild up that metabolism a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a break and then hop right back on the diet. You don't want to be doing anything for so long. That's why it's always important to give yourself a little bit of rest from everything. I mean, you don't want to get burnt out for something either,
Yeah.
Are you doing active rest? Do you ever do active rest? Or are you like me?
I'm like you, always. I can't
that must be the best.
The word
I told you were the smarter one.
Yeah, the word rest is not in my vocabulary. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, now that I know that it's going to snow, I'm like, what am I going to do in the house? What can I do in the house? That actually, I could figure out a recipe for the smoothie.
Yeah, there you go. And then you could video it for New York Muscle Radio.
Exactly.
I like that idea. See, if Pete was here, I'd be ripping him because he loves to rest.
He does love to rest. Whenever we work out with him, he loves to just do his set and then sit down.
Oh, my God. I always make fun of him for that. If he could lie down and take a nap in between sets, he would.
He would.
He would. He sits down. He's so funny, man. He cracks me up. I like Pete. He's a great guy. He makes me crack up, though. Some of his mannerisms make me laugh.
He's the laziest, but not laziest person ever.
Yeah, he's always been like that, though. I'll never forget the first time I worked out with him. And we were doing something, and then I just look over, and he's sitting. I'm like, dude, really? Where are you sitting from? You just did a set of lateral raises.
He said that, but like he sweats, but like he doesn't even huff about it.
Pete has the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. He'll do heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, and not 1 ounce of sweat will drip from him. A set of curls, drenched.
Sweating.
Drenched. Fucking.
Do you actually sweat I don't sweat when I do my heavy lifts, do you?
No.
Yeah, no, me either.
I think it's weird. Everyone thinks it's weird that I'm not sweating.
I don't either.
Sweat.
No.
I'm not a sweater. I think you have to be a sweater. I'm not really a sweater.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess
Cardio
so.
makes me sweat.
Yeah. But anything else you have to say with all those topics before I close off?
Yeah, I think, guys, don't forget, getting a spring body is fine and dandy, but this is something you have to be doing for the long haul if you want success forever. Again, our goal on this network is to teach you how to eat what you want, get leaner, bigger, stronger, doing what works, get toner. So we want you to be able to do this year round. We want to teach you so you can be able to teach other people it as well. So you have to be able to incorporate all these things in year round. Just because you're going away for spring break or summer or whatever it is, doesn't mean that you should be just kicking up the notch here. So what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, everything that we listed, follow that year round, and you're going to look A-okay.
All right, ladies, now that we have given you the rundown of how to look great, now that the weather's going to get nicer, it's time for a little tip and advice. So I encourage you ladies to never give up and always be the best you. The days that you wake up in a bad mood, you have to learn that you're the one who controls that bad mood. So the only way to change that bad mood would be to tell yourself, no, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm going to stay positive, and just remember that it's all mental, and don't let anything get in the way. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because you can do it. And just keep thinking positive, and positive things will happen. Thank you for listening to this.
Do you take your own advice?
I say it, but I don't take my own advice.
You have to remind yourself.
I'm trying. I know. Thank you for listening to this episode, ladies. This is Laura and Anthony with the Bikini and Barbell Show. And always remember, strength and beauty can exist in the same body with training like a man.
Enjoyed this episode of New York Muscle Radio? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, New York Muscle Radio.